What's up, YouTube? Shout out to the Mackies and Maniacs. A few of you guys have requested more Sean and Rob, aka Bobby Day stories and bus driving stories. So I'm going to get into one of those right now for you. Welcome to another episode of Kev Videos, True Stories.
It. I never stopped banging. I started banging hard, then I got so hard till it was a shame.
Welcome to another episode of KM Videos, True Stories. So I got to take you guys back to the mid-1980s. I drove in the city of Compton about 1987 to 88. I was driving a Thomas bus, big, long, 39 to 40 foot bus that carried 52 to 58 passengers. So I got a lot of kids on this bus, a lot of bad kids, and they like to scream, play, and fuss on my bus. These are the worst kids that I ever drove in my short bus driving career. These kids were so out of control, even Democrats would have had a problem with them. Now, I didn't speak Spanish, so it was hard for me to communicate with the kids, but some of the Latino or Hispanic kids did speak English. So they would try to help me out, or they would try to help the students on the bus to understand what I'm saying. The parents, I could never speak to the parents. The Hispanic parents, no English. The black parents just didn't understand a whole lot of anything. Now, as a bus driver, we have rules on our bus. I was a cool bus driver, right? So I didn't really have a lot of rules. Just don't scream, don't stand up while the bus is moving, don't try to walk in the aisles, don't throw anything out of the windows. And if you can, try to take your trash with you. That never worked. There was always trash on my bus. So I'm growing fed up with these students because in the city of Compton, it was pretty hard to suspend a kid off your bus. Yet it was very easy for parents to put in complaints about the bus driver for leaving a minute too soon, for leaving a kid behind that was running trying to catch the bus. And the parents did a lot of lying too. Nevertheless, I'm growing tired of these kids. So as time goes on, I'm trying to pick up a little bit of Spanish. I had these two Hispanic kids that was real cool, probably third graders. One female and one boy. The boy was real cool. He would always sit in the front and talk to me. He would ask me about lowriders. So he spoke good English, and he never got no trouble. He was a good kid. So they would sit in the front with me and talk to me all the time. And I would have them talk to the Hispanic kids that didn't speak good English. So as time goes on, I'm growing tired of these kids on the bus being bad. And I don't understand them. They pretend like they don't understand me. So one day this little girl says, she says, "Bente aquí." You bent your key? And everybody on the bus starts laughing. So they developed this pattern where they laughed at me all the time. So I would say, "Bente aquí," because I learned that meant come here. But apparently I was saying it wrong, as they were too. At least it sounded to me like a B, "Bente aquí," come here. But no, it was something different. However you pronounce it.
Ven aquí.
Bente aquí. Sound the same to me. And so they would always clown me and shit. Sometimes I laugh, sometimes I would be steaming hot. I'm burning up because I have to get them to school at a certain time so I could get to the next pickup and drop off. If they throw me off, I'm going to be late to the next pickup. And so you had these kids in the back. You know, most of the bad kids always go to the back. I used to go to the back myself. but not to be bad, but maybe we want to switch seats or bag on each other, tell jokes and stuff like that. And so these kids in the back, they flipping over seats and stuff. You could never imagine somebody in Congress from the GOP driving a bus with kids like this. They walking 4 or 5 rows up, just getting a seat. And I'm trying to tell them to stop doing that. But we have a communication problem. There's a lack of communication between us. There's a bridge between what I'm trying to tell them and what they're trying to hear. So I figured it out. And they figured it out quick too. Because one day, they're flipping over the seats and I slam on my brakes. Now, they not flipping over one seat no more. They flipping over 2 or 3 seats. And I thought it was hella funny. As I'm looking at them look stupid and turn red and they don't know if they heard or not heard, the embarrassment look on their face brought joy to me. So, all right, so y'all get it now, right? So now there's not as many people trying to flip over seats, but they still walking down the aisle. And I'm trying to convince them to quit walking down the aisle, but they don't listen. I slam on the brakes another day, and everybody go flying down the aisle. And I'm laughing. I'm laughing inside. I'm not letting them know I'm laughing. I'm pretending like I don't see it. So this is my new get out. I hit the brakes on their ass. Whatever happens, happens. Until one day, a student tells on me. So they call me into the office, and I go meet with the faculty at this school. I forget the name of the school. It was by Harriet Tubman on Wilmington and 126, not far from the front hoods. They called me into the office, and it was different because in LA, you're going to meet with your supervisor or somebody from the district and your bus company. But here, I just meet with the faculty in the principal's office. It's like kangaroo court. I'm guilty. I deny it, but I know they telling the truth. And I'm trying to figure out who's telling on me. But I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. And I get out, I try to talk to the parents and tell them, why don't y'all get on this goddamn bus and be an escort? Why don't you motherfuckers follow the bus and see how your kids act? They was cool with that. But again, they told on me. So when I go into the office, I tell them, yeah, these kids are bad. And you know what? When I write them up, you guys don't suspend them. You put them right back on the bus. So I quickly found out that Compton Unified was all about the money. They want to put these kids on the bus and you drive them about 1.5 miles to school. And they don't want nobody off that bus. They want you to pick everybody up, drop everybody off so they can get a check for every person on that bus. So that was counterproductive to me trying to be a good bus driver and drive safely. So I didn't care about driving safe no more. Y'all gonna get me out this route, y'all gonna get me out of Compton, or you kids gonna learn to act right. So one day, I pull up to the bus stop, and these Hispanic mothers, these heavy-set, wrinkle-faced Hispanic mothers, are yelling and talking mess and all this, and I'm like, man, wow. And this black sister walks up. And she started yelling at them for me. I'm like, cool, like somebody stood up for me. So they got to going at it and shit. I let the kids get on the bus. I can't sit around and watch the fight, so I take off. And some of the Hispanic kids, they upset. They worried about their mama. But I'm telling them, while you guys are worried about your parents, I'm worried about getting you to school safe. So you guys need to shut the fuck up. Ooh, bus driver, you said a bad word. I said, no, I didn't. I said, you guys need to look up and pay attention to what your bus driver's telling you. So I quickly got up out of that real quick. And I basically became the bus driver from hell.
What are the G's? The best seat riders wanna still get them a stop on, walk on. Fans on camera with the folded bandana. walk on. There's on camera with the bloated bandana.
If nothing worked, I turn the heater on high, I make sure they got all the windows rolled up, and by the time we get to school, I'm gonna stop at every light, I'm gonna miss every left turn on purpose, so they can get burned up in that bus. And when we would get to the school, the kids would get off the bus sweating. And whenever there was a teacher or somebody waiting for the bus to arrive, I say, you see how these kids are sweating? That don't tell you guys nothing about how they act on this bus? Finally, they figured it out. Like, we need to get this guy another route. And they gave me another route. And back in the office where I work at, they broke the news to me. The reason why they gave me that route, because they couldn't find a bus driver to take that route. They knew the kids was bad, and they knew how Compton Unified got down. So I was happy to get off that route, man. And that's one of my stories. The bus driver from hell, man. I gave them kids a hard time, deservedly so. But y'all stay tuned. I got a story about Bobby Day and Sean up at the house in Windsor Hills. Be sure to click that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'm out of here, y'all. Salute.